I don't think any of us saw this coming, but it happened, so let's talk about it. What does Honda leaving the sport mean for Formula One? Honda dropped a bombshell on the F1 world at the beginning of October when they announced their departure from the sport at the end of 2021. They cited a once-in-a-100-years transformation in the auto industry as the reason for leaving, as they hope to put more focus and resources into reducing their carbon emissions. The departure will leave both Red Bull and their sister team AlphaTauri without an engine supplier moving into 2022. But this change will have a much greater ripple effect on the sport as a whole. When it comes to looking at how Honda's departure will affect the sport as a whole, I think it can be broken down into three categories. What does this mean for Red Bull? What does this mean for Max Verstappen? And what does this mean for the other teams? And while the extent of some of these effects might take years to emerge, let's look at the one that is most immediate. What does Honda's departure mean for Red Bull? The news of Honda's departure comes just a few short months after Red Bull signed the newest Concord agreement, committing them to Formula One until at least 2025. And while there have been rumors that certain clauses exist that would allow Red Bull and AlphaTauri to leave the sport despite signing the agreement, Christian Horner has been adamant that his team is committed to Formula One for the time being. So, with the Milton Keynes outfit committed to Formula One for multiple years beyond the exit of Honda, what are their options for a new power unit supplier? Well, the number one option would be to convince a current engine supplier to provide them with power units, and the first choice would obviously be Mercedes. But personally, I don't see the Silver Arrows giving their engines to their closest competition, ruling them out of the equation. Next would be Ferrari, but with the woeful Ferrari power unit of 2020, it is unclear whether Red Bull would be willing to put their trust in the failing Scuderia. And that unfortunately leaves them with Renault. The power unit that gave them 59 wins and 4 Constructors' Championships is also the power unit that plagued them with reliability issues throughout the turbo hybrid era and possibly prevented them from challenging for championships in 2014 and 2016. It's quite the understatement to say that the relationship didn't end on the best of terms, and I can't imagine that Red Bull would be overjoyed to return to them. However, Renault have stated that they would willingly supply Red Bull with engines, and should Red Bull not be able to find another suitable supplier, they would be obliged to use Renault engines per the rulebook. But should Red Bull not want to use any of the 3 existing suppliers, they do have other options available to them. The idea of purchasing Honda's factory located near Milton Keynes has been floating around over the past few days, should Red Bull wish to develop their own power units. Purchasing Honda's factory would allow them to build upon the solid base that Honda has formed with their engine, as well as develop their engines to fit the aerodynamics of their cars. However, the increased cost and personnel that come with supplying engines make this a solution that is currently not ideal for Red Bull. However, both Christian Horner and Helmut Marko are rumored to have visited Red Bull executives in order to convince them to purchase this factory, so it's not out of the question. Red Bull have shown that they aren't opposed to spending ample amounts of money on the sport, but I personally don't see them going this route right now. Volkswagen also said that they would love to be a part of F1 through Porsche, and Red Bull would be the team that they would want to enter the sport with. However, they stated that 2022 is far too soon for them to produce an engine, with the new regulations of 2026 being a more realistic target. Due to that time constraint, I don't think that this is a realistic option, but it very may well happen in the future, and that's what I believe to be the best option for Red Bull. We know that Red Bull chose Honda so that they could be a factory team without having to produce their own engines. Power units made to their exact specification by one of the best brands in the business is a dream, and if Porsche provides that opportunity again in the future, it is possible that they could seize that opportunity. Unfortunately, that solution would leave Red Bull stuck with Renault engines for the foreseeable future, but should talks with Porsche continue behind the scenes, there should be major hope placed in 2026. Perhaps a deal could happen with Porsche in the near future, giving them over 4 years to develop a power unit for the new regulations, leading to a similar dominance like we saw in Mercedes had in 2014 at the start of the turbo hybrid era. I think that's possible, but for now, Renault is the only viable option for Red Bull. So now that we have the team out of the way, what about their driver? What does Honda leaving F1 mean for Max Verstappen? The improvements made by Honda over the past 2 years played a large role in Max Verstappen signing a contract extension through 2023, but with Honda now gone, the longevity of this contract has been questioned. It has been rumored that there is a clause in his contract that would allow him to leave Red Bull should they not provide him with a competitive car and power unit, and now that Honda is gone, this seems like even more of a reality. However, should he wish to leave Red Bull, where would he go? The Ferrari seats are occupied until at least 2022, and Mercedes seem unwilling to replace Valtteri Bottas with anyone that could challenge Lewis Hamilton in the slightest. Perhaps a move to McLaren to partner his former teammate should they continue their rise up the grid is his best option, but they seem happy with Lando Norris and there is no reason for them to force him out anytime soon. That leaves Max without any viable competitive seats available, and while any team would be happy to have him, I doubt we'll see Max Verstappen driving a Haas anytime soon. His best option would be to stick with Red Bull at least through the first season of the new aero regulations and reevaluate his options at that point. It is more than possible that Red Bull have new long-term engine plans worked out by then, and there's a chance that seats at both Mercedes and Ferrari are available by then as well, should they be the top teams at the time. And who knows, with new regulations, perhaps a new team can lure him away from the Austrian Dreek brand, but we'll just have to wait and see. So with Red Bull and Max Verstappen sorted out, the last thing to look at would be the rest of the grid. So, how will Honda leaving F1 affect the other teams? The obvious place to start is with AlphaTauri, as they too will be without an engine supplier now that Honda is gone. But it's extremely likely that they will end up using the same power unit that Red Bull uses, and the driver situation is a conversation for a whole different video. But the potential to lure Max Verstappen away from Red Bull, Mercedes could take the chance to add another superstar to their lineup. Lewis Hamilton won't be around to race forever, and should Lewis show a decline as he continues to age, it is possible that they force him out in a few years' time. However, that doesn't seem likely at the moment. The other three teams that I believe can capitalize from Honda's departure are Renault, McLaren, and Aston Martin. As these teams look to close the gap from the upper midfield to the front of the grid, there is a chance that this gap gets a little bit smaller as Red Bull adjusts to a new power unit. More chances for points and podiums could see those teams benefit largely from any step back from Red Bull. We've already seen Alex Albon struggle to get through the midfield at times this year, and I can't imagine that would get any easier with a worse power unit. Whatever happens, it's clear that Honda's departure will have a ripple effect throughout the sport, leaving an impact for years to come. Alright, so there you have it, my thoughts on Honda leaving Formula 1 and what it means for the sport. Thank you so much for watching, and if you did, please feel free to leave a comment down below and let me know what you think Honda leaving means for the future of the sport. As always, smash that like button and subscribe before you go, and follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. I will see you guys in the next video.